You know that sinking feeling when someone unfollows you on Instagram and your brain throws a tiny funeral? Or when your situationship watches your story but doesn't reply to your text and suddenly you're there drafting a TED talk in your head titled, Why We Don't Deserve Love. Yeah, that's not just overthinking. That's your caveman brain still trying to survive a world that no longer has saber-toothed tigers but definitely has seen the worst, like dating apps. Let's unpack how 7 evolutionary psychology concepts are shaping your modern life without you even realizing it. Let's talk about trust issues. You don't just get suspicious when your partner smiles too long at their phone or when someone takes a little too long to reply. That's the cheater detection module maneuvering. Back in the day, loyalty wasn't cute, it was critical. Your survival depended on allies, honest mates, and cooperative tribe members. Anyone who lied, cheated, or slacked off could destroy the social balance. So now your brain is hyper attuned to shady behavior, even if that means overanalyzing a hey text or triple checking if someone liked their ex's beach photo from 2019. Your brain isn't paranoid, it's just prehistoric. Now, the flip side of cheating jealousy. If you have ever casually strolled through your partner's follows or felt personally attacked when they said someone else is just funny, you're not unhinged, you're ancient. Mate guarding is the evolutionary cousin of clinginess. In the primal world, mates were investments. If someone stole your partner, you didn't just lose love, you lost future offspring, food shares, and group stability. Today, that primal instinct shows up as stalking exes online, jokingly asking who they were with last night, or low-key choosing to stay in just to protect your territory. Mate guarding isn't romantic, it's survival with a Wi-Fi connection. Let's get one thing straight. Your brain loves a good status boost. More likes, dopamine. Job promotion, ego brunch. Designer handbag, well, survival apparently. In tribal times, status wasn't about flexing. It meant safety. High status folks got first pick of food, mates, and protection. Low status, you were one mosquito bite away from becoming a tribal background noise. Fast forward to today, your brain still thinks your survival depends on how many blue check marks you follow or how aesthetic your lunch stories look. So yes, that existential crisis you had after your bestie went viral while you got 14 likes on your GRWM, 100% your caveman brain fearing social extinction. Have you ever cried more over a broken phone than your broken relationship? Or stayed in a toxic job longer than you should have because you might not find anything better? Welcome to the loss aversion bias, your brain's drama queen tendency to treat loss like death. Our ancestors couldn't afford to lose things. Losing a spare meant no food, and losing shelter meant frostbite and being a predator buffet. So, evolution coded our brains to react to loss with exaggerated panic. That's why losing 10 followers hits harder than gaining 50, and why a breakup feels more devastating than falling in love feels magical. Your brain is screaming, we are losing a vital resource, even when that resource is just a Rahul who ghosted you after only 3 dates. You ever seen someone skip a queue and feel the uncontrollable urge to become the law? Or rate scroll through news articles on billionaires dodging taxes while you can't afford oat milk? That's your desire for fairness flipping the internal table. In our ancestors' tiny tribes, fairness was literally a survival tactic. If someone didn't share the hunt, it was betrayal. One greedy person could doom the whole group. Today, your brain still loses its marble over injustice, no matter how big or small. Cancel culture, online outrage, passive-aggressive Slack messages in your office about shared fridge etiquette, all of it boils down to this deeply wired response. If people cheat the system, we all die. So relax, Karens, no one's dying. Just label your sandwich next time. Why do people buy watches that could fund a college degree? Why does your gym crush grunt louder than the weights? And why did you spend half your rent on concert tickets just to post totally worth it with dead eyes? Welcome to Costly Signaling Theory, where we shout, look at how much I can afford to waste and still survive. Back then, things like hunting big game or throwing feast signaled strength, resources, and desirability. Today, it's designer shoes, luxury vacations, and filtered flexing on social media. We all signal. The costlier the signal, the louder the message. I have value, I am thriving, pick me. Except for your bank account, which is quietly sobbing in the corner somewhere. This one's for the commitment phobes and serial daters because both are evolution approved. Strategic pluralism theory says humans evolved to pursue different mating strategies based on what benefits us most. Sometimes we want stability, other times we choose novelty. Why? Because variety helped genes survive. Depending on the environment, being loyal or flirtatious offered advantages, And modern dating still operates on the very system, just with more red flags and Wi-Fi. So if your heart says cuddle, but your brain says just one more swipe, it's not confusion, it's strategy. But this doesn't give a pass to infidelity where you roam around cheating on your spouses or partner because evolution gave us instincts and not excuses. Self-awareness is sexy. Cheating is not. Your brain's basically running iOS caveman beta. It still operates like you're living in a cave, not on a couch with high-speed internet and 4 food delivery apps. But here's the plot twist. Knowing this is a power move. Once you understand these ancient instincts, you can pause before rage liking your ex's new partner's post or spiraling because someone didn't reply in 2 seconds. Your instincts are valid, they're just outdated. Update your internal software or at least question it before you throw hands over someone taking 2 free samples.